Johnny Walker, Ankaleav, a lot of discussion here, all put on the doctor. Doctor was inexperienced. That's a term that I heard. The doctor asked Johnny Walker, "Where are you?" And Johnny responded, "I'm fighting in the desert," or something along these lines. The doctor apparently wanted to know the country, maybe even said, "What country are you in?" I know there's different reports out there. The bottom line is, why are we discussing what the doctor said? It wouldn't matter if you're the highest rated doctor in Dr. Fauci or if you're the world's most famous doctor, Dr. Dre. It wouldn't make a bit of difference. If you deem that Walker can continue, but the referee's broken the action, that's called a TKO, just so you understand. So Walker arguing this is very weird. Secondly, if the referee had the cojones to make the call that he should have, which is that this is illegal, we don't ever bring the doctor in. To act as though this is the doctor's fault and to take all of the onus off the referee, no, it's not. Now, the rules were followed. The rules were followed. The rule very clearly states under the unified rules, and even if it's self-regulation, they follow the unified rules of the ABC. And it very clearly states that as a referee's discretion, is the foul, there's no question there was a foul, but is the foul intentional or unintentional? That decision is solely left up to the referee, but that decision still comes with a definition. Unintentional would be, I go to push, I got my hands open, I'm going to push you, right? My hands might be open for a push, that would make a lot of sense. You happen to change elevation and come into me and I poke you in the eye instead of your chest. Now I poke you in the eye, which is against the rules, but it was clearly unintentional. I was trying to push you in the chest. Ankaleav tried to knee Walker in the face. He then threw a knee to Walker's face, of which the knee landed on the face. That's intentional. Period. That's a disqualification. That was the third time tonight that happened. That happened twice in an earlier contest at 125 pounds with Tim Elliott. We only have a couple of rules in this sport. Don't bite the guy and don't kick the son of a bitch when he's down. To see one of the extremely few rules that we have be caught, it wasn't missed. Totally different if you miss it. To have it caught, to have it witnessed, to have it observed, and then to have the rule not be followed, I will just tell you, it's frustrating. But it's also systemic. Two different fights, same card, two different referees, same decision to not take a point away. You just fouled. You just cheated a guy. You just cheated a guy in a cage fight that has so few rules. And you don't see that as egregious? Right to his head? The most sensitive part of his body. I mean, I gotta tell you, that's shocking to me. And it is seeming to me, with how few of referees are willing to make that call, it is seeming to me as though there's a little agreement in the back. And I will tell you, that's a real thing with an officiating. Well, here's the rule, but here's the unwritten rule. Happens all the time. And it shouldn't. We don't have very many rules. You got to call it. That was a disqualification. That was a victory for Walker. That is 100% what it should have been. Never should have gone to the doctor. Doc never should have been brought in. And the only reason the doc got brought in is because the referee didn't have the balls to make the decision, so he pushed the onus onto somebody else, and it worked. The whole narrative is now on the doctor and his lack of experience, or him asking Johnny, "What country are you in?" And Johnny responded, "I'm in the desert." That whole thing is an act. Walker act, I don't know where I am. Let me shove the referee, which will cost me my license. So now let me pretend that I am in fact concussed and put it back on the doctor. So, I mean, the whole thing's weird. I know who Dana White is, and I know to act good when he's here, and I know to high-five the fans on the way out, but I didn't know what, the whole thing's weird, but we don't have to act. Should have been a victory for Johnny Walker. That's the truth. The doctor never needed to be asked his opinion. His opinion doesn't matter. Walker was kneed in the face. It was seen. That's a fact. Ankaleav meant to knee him in the face. That's a fact. To call that unintentional as opposed to, that's ridiculous. That's wrong. It lacked courage. It was easy to do. A referee pushed it on a doctor. It worked. The little scam worked. The referee got out of it. The doctor's to blame. Come on, get real.